Okay, this is just going to be a quick little video review of this mini PC. This is the origimagic mini PC C1 with Windows 11 Pro, and this also has the Intel N97, and I'll have more to say about that in a couple of moments. What you actually get in the box is you get the mini PC. You get your VESA mount here with the mounting equipment, and you also get a user manual with several languages. This is the Comet series. So again, this is the Comet series by origimagic. So let's take a quick look at the mini PC here. This is the front side. You can see it's got the power button here going from right to left. We've got the power, we've got the audio jack. We've got a USB Type-C port here. This is a full functioning USB Type-C port, so you get data, video and charging capabilities. You have your USB 3.2. You've got two of those ports. You can see there's also some ventilation here. On the one side here, you just have ventilation. On the other side, the same. And on the rear, you also have some ventilation, but you also have your DC port here. You have two HDMI ports, and this is HDMI 2.1. You have another USB port here, two ports here, and you also have your LAN port here. This is 2.5 gigabit, so it's nice to see that there is a more than a gigabit here being offered with this mini PC. And on the top, there's nothing there. It's just a bit of texture here. It's plastic with some branding. And then on the bottom side, you can see where you've got your VESA mount here and just some information. And what I do like about it is if you want to open this mini PC, they've got this little rubber handle here which you can grab onto to get into the internals. There are 4 screws here. And these are small Phillips head screws. You can't see them, but they're inside the rubber feet here. And they've, what I like about it is they've left it open. Normally I would have to peel off the rubber feet to get access to the screws, but in this case they've got them open so you can access them. And so again, you've got 4 of those, and it's pretty easy just to open it up. Again, you just pull on this and you'll get access to the internals. I did get access to the internals, and I will talk a little bit about that in a moment. Okay, so just talking a little bit more about the CPU in here. This is an Intel N97. Now, I reviewed an Intel N100 not too long ago, and what's interesting is that the Intel N97, based on performance metrics, is actually outperforms the N100. So in terms of the naming convention chosen by Intel, I'm not too sure what to say about it, but this is an N97, which performed a little bit better than the N100. This is a 4-core, 4-thread CPU. This is the 12-watt version, and this is an embedded version, which is a little bit different than what you normally find in mini PCs where they'll have mobile chips. And so this is an embedded version. It comes with 16 gigabits of RAM, of DDR4 RAM. In addition to that, you also have Intel UHD graphics at 1.2 gigahertz. So this performs pretty well, and where it really outperformed the N100 was really related to the graphics. And this can handle up to 3 monitors using the 2 HDMI ports and the USB Type-C ports, and it can power 4K monitors. So a nice little, mini PC here to do your basic functions in terms of productivity and some light gaming, and it does a pretty good job at both, and I'll have a little bit more to say about that in a moment as well. Okay, so how much memory do you actually get with this? You get an NVMe here. This is a Gen 3x4. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment, but in total you get 512 gigabyte SSD, but an actual usable space, when you actually open this up and use it for the first time, you'll find about 475 to 480 gigabytes of usable space. Now, in terms of the internals here, let's just quickly talk about the SSD itself. The SSD is by a company by the name of Hyrel. It has a M.2 2280 NVMe. It's a 3x4 NVMe. Now, according to the hard drive itself, it claims to have a read speed of up to 3500 megabytes per second and write speed of 2550. Now, in my tests, I got considerably less than that. In fact, I got less than 1,000, so I was getting about 800 in terms of read speeds and about 800 in terms of write speeds. I will have that in the written review for you to see. Additionally to that, you also have a single channel memory stick here. This has got 16 gigabits of RAM, which is nice to see, but again, it is in a single channel setup rather than a dual channel setup. So you're going to find that if you open this up, you have a single stick of RAM rather than a 2x8. You get a 1x16 RAM. It's again DDR4. Now, in terms of the Wi-Fi on this does not equip with Wi-Fi 6, excuse me, and so that's one of the drawbacks with respect to this mini PC. But given the price point, it's probably something that is not a surprise with respect to features and options. But just to point out that you do not get Wi-Fi 6 with this. It does have a Realtek adapter inside, which is a name that I'm familiar with and one that's pretty common. And it also has a really great fan, and I'll have pictures of the fan. The fan is quite large. It's a blower style fan, which you can assume would be the case given the setup of this mini PC, and it works really well to avoid thermal throttling, and it is extremely quiet. Perhaps one of the quietest that I have used with respect to mini PCs. I did not take the reading with respect to decibels, but I can assure you that this is a very quiet fan, and if you're working in an office environment, your colleague in the next cubicle or the desk next to you is probably not going to hear the fan at all. Now, one of the things that I take issue with right off the bat is there's the claim in the listing that you can expand the hard drive capability by using a 2.5-inch SSD. There is actually a mounting option. If you open it up on the cover itself, you can mount a 2.5-inch SSD. The problem is there is no SATA cable, so you're going to have to find a way to get this to work with this mini PC without the SATA cable, which is basically means you're not going to be able to expand the hard drive capability without providing your own SATA cable. And I'll take pictures, or I'll have pictures of the interior so you can see whether or not a SATA port is even available for you to do that. But right off the bat, there is no SATA cable provided inside. So you will not be able to use a 2.5-inch SSD or SATA SSD with this mini PC out of the box. Now, in terms of Wi-Fi performance, I did run some tests, again, which I will post in my pictures, but I was not able to, I was able to get some decent speeds, but I was not able to get what I would like to have gotten in terms of internet speeds at this point, given we are at the end of 2024, approaching 2025. But again, that is constrained by the nature of the Wi-Fi adapter. I was able to get about 500 megabits of download speed and about 600 megabit of upload speed. So okay, but would like to see better at this point. So if you're going to use this, you're going to be much better off using a wired connection if possible. And again, it's got the 2.5 gigabit LAN port here on the reverse side here that you can hook this up to, and it works really well. Okay, so let me just quickly talk a little bit about performance, because I did stress test this, and just want to make a few comments about how the mini PC performed. Again, I will have some test results for you to evaluate in the written portion of my review. But overall, it did not perform that badly. It performed pretty well. I mean, you've got to take into consideration the CPU that's being used here. We are not talking about a powerhouse here. Again, this is a 4-core, 4-thread Intel Alder Lake N95. But overall, it didn't perform badly. It was able to work at the full power, and I was able to stress test it, and the fan did a really good job to keep it cool so that it would avoid thermal throttling. I was getting temperatures at the top end of about 80 degrees Celsius. Now for this CPU, that is getting up there, but this CPU has a T-junction temperature of about 105. So there was still certainly some room for the CPU in terms of overall performance. But again, the fan does a really good job keeping this under cool conditions so that it continues to perform without thermal throttling. Now finally, let me just go into just a couple of more small points before I wrap up this review, and we'll first talk about the difference between this and really the N100, which is really in the graphics side of things, where this has a superior graphics associated with it. So in terms of gaming, this is going to be able to run, or it's going to be able to outperform the N100 in terms of gaming, but again, it's not going to be something that you're going to reach for if you're a gamer. It was able, I mean, I did test this on stress test this, and I will again show some of the results. It performed not very well with respect to some of the games that were tested, but again, this is not probably going to be the core reason you get a mini PC like this, especially on the low end. This is really made for productivity, light internet surfing, and so forth. It does a great job in terms of opening up web pages. It does it pretty quickly. It does not seem to stall very much, and again, it certainly outperforms the N100. So overall, what would I say about this mini PC, and who would this mini PC be targeted towards? It's going to be people who are going to be doing a lot of light surfing on the internet. If you need multiple monitors, you do have that ability. I can do some light coding with this. It's not much of an issue, but I can't get into anything that's going to be or is going to be require too much of performance, especially when you're doing some programming related to AI. But overall, it'll work well. It's got, again, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So you've got that going for this mini PC as well. And it's got a decent Bluetooth at 5.0, which is, you know, not the latest and greatest, but does a good enough job. I was able to easily connect with my wireless keyboards, mouse, and so forth. So there's no issues that I experienced with respect to the Bluetooth capabilities. But if there's one thing I would just stress in terms of what is probably the strength of this mini PC, a couple of things. Number one, it'll do surfing the internet really well. You can open up multiple pages and it's not going to overwhelm the mini PC. Secondly, when you do put it under some load and the fan comes on, it's going to be very quiet. It's not going to be one of those PCs that's going to be disruptive in terms of you know, you doing your work or disrupting a colleague that's close by. It is really ultra quiet, and it does a really good job at keeping temperatures in line for the PC so it continues to function appropriately. And then just lastly, this comes equipped with Windows 11 Pro, and it is pre-installed on the system. So that's something to keep in mind, and a lot of these mini PCs that you pick up tend to be the same. They all tend to be pre-installed. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of the Windows 11 Pro versions being placed onto these mini PCs. And again, it's got a good number of ports here, and it's got a full functioning USB Type-C port. So anyways, I thought I'd just highlight some of the aspects of this mini PC. I've been pretty happy with it. I do have an N100 that I was using previous to this, so this is now taken over for that, and it's just doing a lot of light work when I'm doing a lot of searching on the internet and so forth for information and data and so forth. But in terms of really performance related work, it's not something that I'm going to be turning to. I'll continue to use my workstation, but this is something where if you've got, for example, people in the family who are using this for light type of work and a lot of searches and so forth, this is something that'll come in pretty handy. It also, again, does a really good job with respect to handling productivity related programs and so forth. So anyways, this has been a quick little video review of this origimagic mini PC. This is the C1 version equipped with Windows 11 Pro and the Intel N97 CPU with up to 3.6 gigahertz. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one.